The names of 19 incredibly brave men, gone, but certainly not forgotten, and forever remembered not only in Prescott, which was their home, but also throughout the state of Arizona as men whose legacies will certainly live on.
Right, and one man whose legacy will certainly live on is Brendan McDonough, the lone survivor that day. Thank you so much for joining us. You just finished doing the hot shot prayer for today's ceremony. What was it like? It's 10 years later.
You know, I think it's such a great honor to be here, to see our community come together from all over the state, firefighters from all over the country and the world, truthfully, to be here to remember them. And I think that's the greatest honor. You know, today, very somber, but also very humbled. A lot of gratitude for just all the love and support and compassion for the last decade. You know, much of why I'm here today is because of the love our community's provided.
How have you been doing, by the way?
I've been doing really well. Raising a family, started a mental health substance abuse facility in Prescott, traveling, speaking, just trying to give back, just trying to be home, you know, and I've been good, you know. There's been ups and downs, obviously, but God's pulled me through this with community, family, and love, and so I'm able to be here today and kind of, you know, have a smile and be thankful for this.
Brendan, so many people in our coverage talked about this wound that will never heal, this hole in their hearts that will never completely go away. How do you move on? How did you move on?
You know, I think by understanding it's okay to move forward. You know, the greatest fear is that they're forgotten. And so we take that job and we take that sense of duty and responsibility to remember them. That takes a toll, and it's heavy. And, you know, when we come to acceptance of, you know, our community is going to remember them, our department's going to remember them, our children are going to remember them, it's such a relief to know that, you know, they're not going to be forgotten. Our state legislative, they're made sure they're not going to be forgotten. So it's massive, and that's been huge to be able to move forward and find opportunities to share their stories and how they impacted my lives and how they changed my lives. But also, it's okay to not every day have to find myself trying to find ways to honor them, but in the ways that I live, I do so.
Yeah, we saw Ryder Ashcraft, who's Andrew Ashcraft's son. He was 6 at the time of his death. He's 16 today. Just a young man, so eloquent. What is it like to see him and also the kids of some of your other brothers who, some of them never got to even meet their children?
It's honestly difficult, but it's very honoring. And they're such amazing young men and women. They're so well poised. They're so well spoken. They're carrying their father's legacy in such amazing ways at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
Ryder's 16, and he just did such an amazing job. And I know his father's proud of him.
You talked a little bit about the substance abuse and mental health program that you've started. Since then, when you joined the Hotshots, you were fighting your own demons. What did joining the Hotshots do for you personally?
You know, for me personally, it taught me how to be a man. It taught me how to be a community member. It taught me how to be a father. It taught me how to be a son of God. You know, it was so much more than just firefighting. These men were heroes in my eyes, right? Andrew Ashcraft, Jesse C., Travis Carter, you know, all the fathers in the crew. I was a young father at the time. My daughter was 2 months old. I didn't know how to use a thermometer. I didn't know how to balance a checkbook. And those men, they taught me so much more than how to swing a tool. They taught me how to love. They taught me how to forgive. They taught me what integrity was. They taught me honesty in a hard day's worth of work. And so, you know, they helped form me in my most formidable years in such a unique time of my life.
As the fire moved in, and we're almost at that time now, at 4:43. You were told to get out.
Yes, sir.
When you evacuated, and you ultimately heard what had happened, how crushing was that for you that you had, in one fell swoop, lost 19 of your family members?
Yeah, exactly that. Shock. It's hard to fathom that kind of loss to any magnitude, and you know that shock carried on for a long time, and it was difficult. It was
what do you remember from that day?
You know, honestly, I remember their smiles of working hard and putting in a good day's worth of work and serving selflessly. It was warm that day. It was hot. It was a decent hike in, but I remember the laughter, the joy, the jokes. I remember their smiles.
It was a brotherhood, right?
It was, truly
it was like
indeed.
Family. Now, to this day, Granite Mountain Hotshot crew, it no longer exists. Do you wish that one day it would be reinstated as a hotshot crew?
No, I think what they've done is amazing. I think as we retired jerseys in sports, you know, I think they've retired the name, and it's been beautiful. And I know the city of Prescott has continued to carry on their legacy with the fuels reduction that they do.